The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys!
This is the Players Lounge, broadcasting live from Dallas Cowboys World Headquarters at the Star. Now, your hosts, Barry Church, Danny McCray, Heckma Harrison, and Newy Scruggs.
It's time to recap the Super Bowl on the Players Lounge, brought to you by Tostitos. Danny McCray is here in the house. Heckma Harrison is here. I'm Newy Scruggs. The Kansas City Chiefs do it again. Back-to-back world championships. Patrick Mahomes, Chris Jones, Andy Reid and company, and Travis Kelce trying to beat up the coach.
I knew you were not going to let that one down. I knew it.
Really? But
hey, I knew you weren't going to let that one down, Newy.
Passion and emotion.
It was passion. Andy Reid was just caught off balance. It's all right.
Hey, man, Greg Hardy, passion.
No.
That's different. Hey, that's a different one.
Those are different guys. Hey, those are different guys.
Parcells once said, all I can go by is what I see. I just saw passion. Passionate people.
Shout out to them, man.
By the way, once again, Barry Church is out today. Barry Church is out because Barry Church consistently is wrong about these quarterbacks. All of us here went with Mahomes. All of us went with Mahomes, but not Barry. He gonna go 35-24 San Francisco.
Not even close.
Not even in the stratosphere here. Danny, you had it 30-27. Right there. Heckma, you had it 34-24 Kansas City. I had it 27-24 Kansas City in overtime. All of us believed in Patrick Mahomes.
Hold on. Now, you're right. But I remember clearly stating that when these teams play against the Kansas City Chiefs, they find a way to do something outside of themselves that you haven't seen them do all season.
I want to know what you saw, because we didn't talk yesterday. What did you see San Francisco do?
They obviously didn't know the rules to overtime.
Ain't that crazy?
They obviously did not know the rules in an overtime game of the Super Bowl.
How does this happen?
Christian McCaffrey comes out. The guy has protected the football like nobody else. Comes out on the first drive of the game when they're driving and cannot be stopped and fumbles the football.
Unbelievable. Third fumble of the season.
But this has been consistent when you watch teams play against the Kansas City Chiefs, and they do uncharacteristic things all the time. Coaching staff, special teams, all of it across the board. Yeah. And then you see, the Kansas City Chiefs, they do it, but they have Patrick Mahomes so they can overcome it. 2nd and 14. He's looking at a guy, MVS, catches the ball, gets slung back, and now 2nd and 14. He's all right, that's all right. We
no
gonna
problem.
Make it work.
No panic.
Right, but you don't have that guy on the other squad, so it's hard for you to overcome those things. And we saw it last night. They just couldn't figure out a way to just remain themselves and in the moment and just not do dumb things.
What I've become accustomed to is those first couple of drives, both teams are so nervous. They have to kind of settle into the game in the Super Bowl. And I thought those tense moments, they kind of went away quickly for both teams. And I was impressed by just the gamesmanship for both coaches. They called a tight ball game. Mm-hmm. They made the initial mistake. You talk about Christian McCaffrey. But other than that, I think defensively they came in with a good plan. But then they had to adjust. Kansas City adjusted in the second half. And they adjusted partly because Greenlaw went out. One of the craziest things that I've ever seen happen in a football game was a freak accident to the guy that was really the linchpin of that defense. If you think about what he does for them as an enforcer, but also that guy in the middle of the field that they are hard to run against, I think when Kansas City just kind of got that in their brain, that, look, they can take Fred Warner out here one-on-one with Kelce, but that's going to leave the middle of the field open, and that's when Pacheco started to eat. That's when Kelce started to eat, because he didn't have a good first half. And so
one catch for 1 yard?
Didn't have a good
two.
Didn't have a good first half.
Kelce?
Kelce.
Yeah. Kittle ended up with 2 catches for the whole game.
So, and then on top of that, for San Francisco, although it was unfortunate, they had a lot of things that we're going to talk about, but, man, just the injuries happening to them. Also, Debo getting hurt. I think that changed their offense also because they couldn't rely on him going down the stretch.
The offseason for San Francisco should be a nightmare for everybody. When they just offseason, you just somewhere wake up in the middle of the night. The fumble on the first drive when it looks like It's like, how are you going to score? Will it be the field goal or the touchdown? Because they were getting chunk plays. They were driving. Then you got Trent Williams, future Hall of Famer, out here taking them out of the game with his holding penalties. Yeah. What are you doing? You have a missed extra point attempt in the game, which took it from a 4-point game to a 3-point game, which hurt them. You've got your head coach who's out here thinking, I want the ball third.
But no, can I also include in that the special teams play, the buff punt?
And that was my next thing.
Okay, yeah.
You got special teams gaff where my man, the ball hits the back of his heel, and then the punt returner has to go out here and get. And then because that next play, I remember I was watching the game, I was like, oh man, go straight. Good for you, Andy Reid, go to the end zone right now. Go right there. And they did. That's good. That should keep all of them up all night. I mean, you did pick off Mahomes and got nothing out of it. The kind of mistakes that hurt you. And Kansas City took the game. But my goodness gracious, if I remember the 49ers, I'm sitting here looking at all these different things, and I would say, man, it was there. It was there. Despite all of it, it's there. And they lost.
Guess they only got one guy, man. You know, Joe Burrow, the only guy that could give Patrick Mahomes those type of issues in the playoffs because we just haven't seen anybody else do it. And I will say this. The Kansas City Chiefs, they're just a great football team. They finding a way to do it no matter what the circumstance is, offense, defense, special teams, coaching, play calling, fourth down, whatever. Being able to say, hey, man, it didn't go right this play, but we're going to be all right because we got Patrick Mahomes back here to make sure that we're going to get this stuff done. Chris Jones and the way that he played, the cornerbacks, all of them, like there are going to be times where they don't play as well as they should or they may give up a holding call or something. But overall, that defense, they made some big-time plays in the game.
Chris Jones, why he's on a one-year deal as a free agent with Kansas City, help me understand how come you haven't secured a bag with this man, because he literally saved 2, if not 3 touchdown passes with his pressure in the game. You know how much I think of your Uncle Joe. Joe Green, the greatest Pittsburgh Steeler of all time, the greatest 3 technique of all time, because all these defenses try to run these Tampa 2s, they try this. It's you want Joe Green. But and when I look at Chris Jones, I say to myself, that's what what an Aaron Donald does, what a Joe Green. That's what that guy did. And I don't think we talk enough about it. And yes, Patrick is great. He's fantastic. But if Chris Jones isn't doing that, Mahomes is not going to be in the position to make the great comeback because Chris is that special, but we don't talk about it because football is such an offensive game. We think fantasy football, but I know what that guy did. And, he's not, you just don't see DTs win the Super Bowl MVP. But that guy was special. And I heard people today, I was listening to the radio driving in, which I don't do that much anymore, but I was listening to radio and they were talking about how great the defensive backs were. And they were very good in the game for Kansas City.
But why?
And he said they were the whole key. And I'm like, man, Sapp said the best back don't work without the front.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were good because Chris Jones was making Brock Purdy get off his spot. Danny, I watched that game and I just think to myself, that's the one guy you can't lose. I was in Clark Hunt's office the week before the Super Bowl, and I wish I would have asked him about Chris Jones and what are you going to do to secure him. You let Tyreek Hill go, you okay. You can't let Chris Jones go.
No,
they won't.
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
And I say this about the secondary. Yeah, front don't work without the back. Back don't work without the front. What they secondary did a really good job of is staying attached to receivers and tackling. Like they did, because San Francisco was a team where you watch guys like Debo run through the secondary, not being able to tackle guys. You may have saw that like once or twice last night. Yeah. But for the most part, they were tackling, and it was a physical game. Christian McCaffrey was bringing it, but he was getting punished too. Like so that I think for them the way that they play, especially knowing that you had Ayuk and Debo and McCaffrey and Kittle holding Kittle to 2 catches. Like that is a big time feat for a secondary to do. But yeah, Chris Jones, So some of the Brock Purdy was about to get loose like he did the previous week with some scrambles, but Chris Jones was able to take it away. With some of the stuff, just reading plays. It was just him knowing the game, being able to stop some of those plays because they were trying to trick him on some of the read option stuff and play action, and he was just like, "Nah, I'm not having it."
And he wasn't by himself. There's some other guys on that Kansas City defensive line that had great games as well. But guys, what's disheartening? Well, not disheartening. The NFL is in good hands. For the next 5 years, you're going to see some real good football, especially with Joe Burrow there in Cincinnati. It's going to be some playoff games that's going to be great because of the young guys that are coming up in the league. But that Kansas City defense is young. They've been stockpiling those draft picks and bringing in those young guys, and you see a really good secondary, and that's why they get half of the credit. But if you watch football, you know from the inside out in the trenches, that's where it went down. And Trent Williams had his hands full yesterday. He saw plenty of times where 71 was going back on his nameplate.
Was his Pennell? Man, that's
what? That's a big old dude. Come on.
I didn't know who he was before I seen him push Trent back like that.
I wasn't familiar with your game.
Yeah, you see?
I wasn't, but he was ready to go.
But then also Nick Bolton, Frisco Lone Star guy, linebacker. You see how much, the way that front and back that you're talking about work together. I think that defense, they really changed the game, especially in the third quarter, because neither team could do anything in the third quarter until they made that mistake.
Both defensive coordinators were outstanding, I thought. Steve Wilkes for the 49ers and, of course, Steve Spagnuolo winning his fourth Super Bowl. They did a very good job with two really fantastic offenses. And obviously the fourth quarter things changed, but I just thought both guys were really good, and so I felt bad. Some DC was going to go home a loser,
yeah.
And I look at Steve Wilkes and just say to myself, man, you did enough as a defensive coordinator. You look at it, hey, man, you did enough. It's like that time when the Rams went to the Super Bowl. Uncle Wade was out there dealing against Bill Belichick, and their defense they did enough. Your offense. This is, to me, I point the finger for Kyle Shanahan. This is on you.
Oh.
And you needed the offense to win this game, to come up with something, because Andy Reid's offense came up with something. And oh, by the way, can't miss an extra point.
Well, they also did the same stuff that we've seen Baltimore do for a while, where they come out, they run it on first. I mean, they throw it on first, then they throw it on second, then they got to throw it on third. And you got CMC back here.
Right.
Get a man the ball. He a 30 carry guy in that game. He is your main weapon in that game, and you come out and you throw it on first and second, and you hey man, we got the lead.
10-point lead again.
10-point lead.
10-point lead.
No.
Third Super Bowl, Kyle Shanahan had a 10-point lead. Third Super Bowl.
Come on, you got to do better. And then there will be no coach in the offseason who does not know the overtime rule. There will be no coach. There
shouldn't be a coach right now that doesn't know the overtime rule. But look, Danny, I just got to ask you. To me, it seemed like those scripted plays when they first started the game, Shanahan was in his bag. I mean, he was dialing up. They stayed balanced. They were mixing in the run and pass very well. And I'm with you, Christian McCaffrey. First half, he was. Still, I mean, those little 3-4 yard runs, they were getting them into that scoring position. You started to see them move the ball against the Kansas City defense, and then in the second half, they went away from it. What happened?
I would never, for the life of me, I would not understand the Detroits, the Shanahans, what Baltimore did, what should have been. That's a crime.
Again, they're still trying to figure that one out. There's a lot of yellow tape.
And I'm no defensive coordinator. I mean, an offensive coordinator, so I don't know. But there's nothing that could have stopped me from making sure that Christian McCaffrey touched the ball on every series. Especially running the ball, knowing that we have a lead, knowing that at some point Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes are going to find a way to move the ball on us a little bit. So we need to find a way to play keep away for as long as we can. And it literally just every week. Every week. You see it every week.
So I'll ask you this, Heckman and Danny. When do we start to point the finger at Kyle Shanahan? The offensive play caller for Dan Quinn's Atlanta Falcons with a 28-3 lead. They ended up losing that game in overtime. Had a 10-point lead on this same Kansas City Chiefs 4 years ago. 10-point lead in the fourth quarter. Lost that game. Another 10-point lead. You lose the game. You look up at the end of the game. Brock Purdy's got 38 pass attempts, and Run CMC's got 22 rushes, though he had 30 touches in the game. And you're left saying to yourself, boy, he did them a favor.
Yeah.
Because he didn't get the ball. When do we look at Kyle Shanahan? For all the good you've done, you were right here looking to plant your flag on the top of Mount Everest, and you didn't.
It's his fault. It's his fault. The overtime rule. That is a head. It falls on the head coach.
Yeah.
That falls on the head coach. You knowing that this is the final game of the season for an entire year, knowing what you have in the backfield, knowing that did you see he caught the ball in the flat on the left and hit him with the hezzy?
Yeah.
What was like, that's what you have in the backfield. And you find a way to let Brock. I will lose the game with Christian McCaffrey getting 35 rushing attempts playing in overtime. I will lose the game that way.
Put it in his hands like he did Garoppolo. The last time.
Look, here's the thing, and sometimes, and I'm not enamored with what Shanahan in his play call, and I recognize the greatness in what he does sometimes with the players that he has. I think he uses them to the best of his ability. But in a game like this, you come up against a defense. Spagnuolo in that last couple of minutes of the game, the third and fourth quarter, he was dialing up those blitzes, and a guy like Brock Purdy didn't realize where it was coming from. I mean, it was the gamemanship and then the play calling on both sides were wonderful. I think a lot of times CMC, we're going to look back at this game, CMC had a tough game. Mm-hmm. I mean, you saw the marks on his arm, boy, he's dusty as a rodeo clown. They was putting it on him. Yeah. And I think they tried to figure out other ways to get other guys involved, and they just couldn't all the way down the stretch. Those little small things like missing that PAT, those are just the little things that just set in motion imminently the victory for Kansas City, because they're the kind of team that you cannot make a mistake against. But let's not act like Patrick Mahomes didn't struggle. That offense did not look good in that first half. But it was just those mistakes they couldn't penalize them. They couldn't make them pay for the mistakes that they were making in the first half. That was the difference in this game.
Old Pat Mahomes, man. Shout out to Pat. But I still see people talking about he better than Tom Brady and all sorts of stuff. And I don't know. I guess that's the conversation.
There's no way you got to have as many championships.
Man, I got into a Tyler Drag in the USA Today about that. I got into it last night.
Patrick Mahomes versus Tom Brady has happened a couple times.
It's twice. That's what I said to him.
So you watching it and you saying, okay, he faster than Tom Brady, whatever. What, just because you look at it and say it looks different, the man got 7.
They gonna tell me that, well, there's 22 players on the field. I was like, no. You just said that Tom's more accomplished, but Patrick's a better player. So then you're like, now you're gonna go to the players. Then he goes throw out if you look at the arm strength and everything else.
Come on, guys.
I'm like, brother, Dan Marino's got a better arm than Joe Montana, but he got beaten Super Bowl 19.
Recency bias is a thing.
Hey,
it's a very strong thing.
It is the Michael Jordan, LeBron James discussion all over again, and the recency bias that plays into that argument is the same.
100%.
I seen them talking. They were doing a comparison between Kelsey and Gronk, and I was like, you forgot. Yeah. Y'all forgot what Gronk was doing when he was out there in New England. You forgot what he did when he was in Tampa. And this is no shade against anybody, but they just said it's just so easy where you don't even have to go back and watch the film of the guy who you're talking about. You got to at least go watch it so you can remember how good this person was.
What Gronk and Brady did to me, that's your whole separator anyway. Okay, you did it with this one team, but now you went somewhere else. It's just us. Here we go. We sprinkled on championships on people. Man, they're really good. Let's get a break in here. Darren Woodson does not make the Pro Football Hall of Fame. What needs to happen to get him in? I was given a little tidbit about what could help Woody get into the Pro Football Hall one day. We'll do that with Heckma Harrison. Got Danny McCray, Barry Church, whose birthday yesterday. Happy birthday, my man. He'll join us next time, but he's taking the day off here. Well deserved. Newey Scratch Players Lounge brought to you by Tostitos right here on DallasCowboys.com radio.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the Playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
Hi, I'm Danny McCray, Dallas Cowboys alumni player here with Smoothie King. And Smoothie King wants to ask you, what's that sound? That's the sound of us magically transforming our smoothie bowls into 2 new decadent flavors. Dig into a cool acai or pitaya bowl, handcrafted with crunchy, purely Elizabeth granola, fresh strawberries, and finished with a velvety chocolate hazelnut drizzle. Perfect for breakfast, lunch, or anytime you want to munch. And that's the sound of you making them disappear. Smoothie Bowls, now in 2 new decadent flavors. Only at Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. Hashtag be your own boss.
There is no I in Dallas. There is no I in Hart either. No I in Blue Star or in Lone Star for that matter. And there's no I in how about them Cowboys? Smirnoff knows there's no I in football. Football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks, home or away, we rally together, we cry together, and we always rally cry together because there's definitely no I in Cowboys fans. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to the Players Lounge.
The CONCACAF Nations League finals are coming to AT&T Stadium. Don't miss your chance to watch North America's best soccer teams battle it out in the semifinals on March 21st. A real player's birthday. Then see who lifts the trophy in the championship on March 24th. Tickets are available now at SeatGeek.com, the official ticketing partner of AT&T Stadium.
All right. A little breaking news in college football.
What you got?
Deshaun Foster named the UCLA head football coach. He was the UCLA running back coach. Then he went over to the Raiders with Pierce.
Why does that name sound familiar?
And then Deshaun also was a running back coach up at Texas Tech for a little bit.
Yes.
But I'm so old, I covered him in high school. And it was a high school game he went to Tustin, and Carson Palmer went to Rancho Santa Margarita. I think they had 12 touchdowns between them. Crazy playoff games and 2 dudes go out there balling. So happy for him, man. Happy for him.
Hold on, give me that thing. So he was where? Did he went with Pierce and then?
So he was UCLA's running back coach for Chip Kelly. Mm-hmm. Then he went last week with the Raiders to become their running back coach. Then Chip Kelly quit as UCLA's head coach to be the offensive coordinator at Ohio State.
And then
they got him from the Raiders to become UCLA's head football coach.
Good for him.
So good for him. Terrible schedule. They at LSU next. They start the season at Hawaii. Then they got to go to LSU. Then they got to go to Penn State. And then they got to go to Nebraska. It's a tough schedule.
Who's the man? I seen a post on Twitter. Who's the is it Maryland head football coach? Black guy?
Mike Loxley.
And he's talking about his third string running back
asking for
$100,000.
That's where it's gone to.
Man.
You got to show me that bag.
You at Maryland?
I'm in the portal.
Guess what? You at Maryland asking for $100?
Can you imagine? Give me $100. Hey, you the third string.
I would have laughed you up on my office.
That's why Nick. If you read the article, that's why Nick up out of here. Nick couldn't deal with that.
So, but here's also my kind of funny thing. Just listening to Mike Loxley. So, and I don't know what running back came in the office and wanted $100,000. If you was offered it, why aren't you taking it? What
Indeed.
Go. Because the other thing I'm starting to find out is just because they offer this to you and you sign it, you better read the fine print and details because they're finding ways not to give you that. There's performance bonuses and you've got to do this. There's a whole bunch of that stuff that some of these kids are finding out that, you know what, oh yeah, that whole bag I thought I was getting is not the bag. You get little things that read the fine print on the credit card. Mm-hmm. There's a whole lot of that going on, right? And kids are mad. And oh, by the way, you've signed this whatever collective or whatnot. It's not like you can go take your lawyers, go get you a lawyer and go sue them because we wrote our lawyers from the school that wrote this all up. We got these great alumni who these great lawyers. No, we got you. We got you.
Third string, $100,000.
Look, man, the NIL's changed everything, man. Before we go on, and me and you came up playing football when you couldn't get a dime. Mm-hmm. All right, and so we was.
Posted.
You did. Are you was getting that per diem?
No, you got some per diem. I know some guys who was, I was in school with LaRon Landry and Pat Peters and all them guys. So
handshakes.
They moving families down.
Yeah.
All that.
It's per diem. Yeah, it's called it per diem. What it is. I mean, these players today, it's a different world, man. And even in the process that we're going through with my own son, man, trying to understand NIL is crazy. How can, like, right now, to me, the teams that have the most money are going to get the most talent.
Yeah.
It's come on, man. If I can guarantee an 18-year-old and his family $100,000, are you serious? And he's trying to go somewhere else to a college that's not going to promise him $100,000. But like you said, when you get on campus, all of that changes because somebody didn't read the fine print. Obviously, if you got a third-string guy asking for $100,000.
Yeah, I also think where it messes you up with the NIL is you would used to say, I mean, I'm gonna go to a place after one. Let me see who the senior is there, who the junior is, what that roster looks like, and then the money part takes you away from it because now they're able to pay 4 or 5 stars, and okay, you are the safety or the cornerback, and they got a receiver who they like, oh, well, we already got enough receivers, we're going to move him to cornerback. Now you sitting over there and might not even play. Yeah. And now you in the portal, over and over again and can't get it figured out. So I think it's tougher on the kids, but I got nothing against them because if I was 18 years old and somebody was going to say, hey, you have a possibility to make X amount of dollars, I'm taking it too.
And that's what
I'm not upset with them.
You know us.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I'm not upset with them because you can tell me now somebody gonna go give me $100. I'll be like, hey, look, hey, sorry.
There's a whole lot of these portal promises dudes are coming up empty on.
Yeah.
And I talk to these assistant coaches, they're like, man, we got a lot of these guys. They sold something, and guess what? It changed because, hey, yeah, heck, man, we like you today. You didn't put your name in the portal. You say you coming, but guess what? What you didn't know is now Danny said he go.
Yeah, we didn't think we had a chance to get him at first.
Right, we didn't know. Danny price got lowered, so we got Danny for a little less. And guess what? We taking Danny. And then this stuff is, I personally laugh at it. And the reason I laugh at it because this is the problem of the college presidents and administrators. Through the years, you had no problem making sure the kids got nothing. Sitting there using their names, using their jerseys, not giving them any money, putting them on these players, making all this cash off these kids when you should have been breaking them off a little something. But nope, you tried to keep it all, and now it's the Wild West, and now you're mad, you don't like this, I got to re-recruit them. Yep.
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Every year.
Oh, well.
For as much as you get paid now, these coaches getting paid.
Hey, I have no sympathy for them.
You need. I got to do a little bit more work, or a lot more work, or the pressure is on. Yeah, it's on.
It's more or less like, guess what? I can't mother F you anymore. Guess what? Once you got, heck, they loved you. Then after that signing day, phone call stop. Now they got you out here yelling at you, talking to you.
None of the stuff that was there when I went on the visit was there when I got there.
Looking at you and talking to you all kind of ways you hadn't seen before, man. They flip the script, man.
Telling you the next guy coming.
And so now what can heck do? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, what you say? Yeah, now you got. They don't like that, especially the old ones. They don't like it. You don't want to be tough coaching. No. Guess what? There ain't no fun when the rabbit got the gun.
Yeah. No, and the rabbit got the gun. And the teams that are taking advantage of it and making it work, you see Michigan has it down. Texas has it down. Those are going to be the teams that are going to be constantly in the playoffs because, hey, man, they get the most talent. I can't believe Texas A&M hasn't because, all right.
I'm Texas. I know why they ain't got it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's a collective.
They got it. They just.
But it's on the way. That's all I'm saying.
They don't know they ain't handling it right. They fumbling. You talk fumbling the bags. They are fumbling the bags.
Well, they had to pay Jimbo something crazy anyway, man. Hey, that's it.
Kept going.
Hey, we came up on ramen noodles. Man.
Yeah,
ramen noodles and tuna.
Per diem. The rest of your scholarship check. That's what it is.
Get an education.
Darren Woodson not getting the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I knew it wasn't going to happen. One of the issues was a lot of Cowboys been getting in. Had a Cowboy get in last year. So I didn't think this would be Woody's time. But talking to some folks in the room, they've said there needs to be a campaign, that these have turned into campaigns now. And you basically have to get out here and do Zoom calls with voters and explain yourself and have the people who presenting you put out information. You need to have, coaches and other folks get out here and help you. This is now a campaign that you have to convey in order to get in. And that was one thing that I was told that helped push some folks over the top and something that Darren Woodson did not have.
You don't believe that. Look, okay, Nui, they're robbing that man. They are robbing him. They're taking away from a great career. And once you put Steve Atwater in the Hall of Fame ahead of Woody, he should have been next. And that should have been next. No matter where the voters go on this, dog, this is a bad move to continue to make Darren Woodson sit on the outside of that vote. I mean, it's nasty. Whatever he did, I don't know. I don't know the politics in it. And, man, you've been in it at this longer than all of us. But that's wrong. That's wrong. And even to say that he needs to campaign and go on Zooms and do all, he did it on the field.
Heck, man, this is horse trading. Think of like going to Congress and trying to get things passed. People want stuff done, but I'm also telling you, this is what was being done as for some of the folks who got in. Off the mic, I'll tell you some more.
Okay.
The things right. I can't tell you right on the mic, but I'm just telling you right now. There is a process and there's a game that's being played, and when the game starts to shift and change, you have to change with it. I'm not saying that this is Woody's fault. This is not his fault. I'm just telling you this is what's going on. And while what was going on for Woody was going on this way, it was going on differently for some other folks. I'll tell you another guy who I was very surprised at I thought Antonio Gates was getting in.
Right. Him too.
You look at the resume and didn't get in. So just telling you, man, there's a game behind the guy. I remember when Tim Brown couldn't get in. That was that whole receiver thing for a while, where it was Andre Reed, Chris Carter, Michael Irvin, Tim Brown, and who was getting in first and at what time and how it was going. It was driving Tim crazy because Tim had a Hall of Fame career. He was a great receiver and return man. So you do 2 spots out here in the game. But the way that process was going, he had to wait. And when Michael Irvin was about to get his, then he had that slip up. He had that slip up here, with his personal life, and then that pushed him back a little bit. Then moved other people up the queue. But I'm just telling you, man, it is a incredible political system that is of how these votes are going down. But Woody is going to get there.
Y'all robbing Woody. Yeah, go ahead, man.
Many guys get robbed during this process.
Yeah, they are robbing Darren Woodson.
I mean, we were just talking about Drew a few years ago. So it's not, it's
he's not the first, right?
it's not specific to him.
If you go down the list of Cowboys and start to think about the process that some of them had to go through, Drew. Everson doesn't get consideration in the room until his final year.
Yeah.
Okay? That was crazy. Hasn't gotten in. Bullet Bob Hayes. It's changed the game, the rules of the game, the way they play defenses.
Bullet.
Man got to die before he got in. Rayfield Wright had to wait forever. So
the first big cat.
So we talked about Cliff Harris. First team,
Captain Crash.
First team all decade 1970s. You look up everybody in but you on defense.
Crazy.
And you've got the Super Bowls, you got the rings. It's not the first time that a Cowboys had to wait and you just say, well, wait a minute, according to the rules that you have, I fit the criteria. But there is a game behind the game.
You almost went Isaiah just a minute ago. And I took that personal.
I don't know what the criteria was, but I know that I met the criteria for selection. Now, Jordan was the one that said I took it personal. George said I took it personal, but it's true. Yeah. It's true, and that drives guys crazy. It drives some of the presenters crazy. I know for a fact Randy Gradishar and the Denver contingent has been mad for 15 years about him not getting in and their desire to have somebody from the Orange Crush defense get in.
Yeah.
The campaigns are crazy, man. Joe Klecko got in with the Jets 2 years ago. I'm like, come on, what would this man do? This man wasn't even the best player on his own defense. But you know what he had? Campaign.
Yeah.
And next year, you know who the campaign's going to go in big for? Eli Manning. Let's get a break in here. And
I mean,
can I say this?
That's a tough one. Look,
y'all robbing Darren Woodson. Go ahead, man.
One day the robbery will stop. Who's going to be the defensive coordinator? There's not been an official release yet from the team. I thought it was Mike Zimmer and Rex Ryan. I don't know if you saw what Rex Ryan had to say.
He had me confused. I thought I missed something. I was like,
wait a minute.
I started Googling
the confusion.
Rex Ryan come out there like the WJ. Hold on, player. For the Players Lounge next right here on DallasCowboys.com radio.
To kick off the 2023 NFL season, Hugo Boss teamed up with the NFL and Micah Parsons to launch an iconic apparel collection featuring hoodies, crews, t-shirts, polos, joggers, and more. The bold, unique apparel of the Boss NFL collection unites football and fashion while reflecting what it truly means to be a boss. Get yours today at nflshop.com/HugoBoss, at HugoBoss.com, and at Boss retail stores. #Be your own boss.
Hi, I'm Danny McCray, Dallas Cowboys alumni player here with Smoothie King. And Smoothie King wants to ask you, what's that sound? That's the sound of us magically transforming our smoothie bowls into 2 new decadent flavors. Dig into a cool acai or pitaya bowl, handcrafted with crunchy, purely Elizabeth granola, fresh strawberries, and finished with a velvety chocolate hazelnut drizzle. Perfect for breakfast, lunch, or anytime you want to munch. And that's the sound of you making them disappear. Smoothie bowls, now in 2 new decadent flavors. Only at Smoothie King, the official smoothie of the Dallas Cowboys.
It's the official men's skincare brand of the Dallas Cowboys, Jack Black. And right now, Cowboys fans can get 15% off their $75 order. Plus, because every deal needs a playmaker, your order will include a free 5-piece skincare set and free shipping. The Jack Black Playmaker is 4 of Jack's favorites and a full-sized intense therapy lip balm. Make a play for the playmaker at getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP. That's getjackblack.com/Cowboys with the code CowboysVIP.
I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys.
And they snap it to Prescott, who looks right. It's not there. He escapes left. He'll run for a first down.
Just like football, when it comes to crypto, it's important to have a team you can trust. With blockchain.com, I know I'm in good hands. Since 2011, they've been trusted by millions around the world to buy, sell, and trade cryptocurrency.
Prescott's going to run this himself. Run it up the middle, and he scores.
Whether you're new to crypto or an active trader, they've got you covered. What are you waiting for? Get started at blockchain.com.
Back to the Players Lounge.
Dallas Cowboys Game Time, powered by Lenovo, the official gaming platform and community of the Dallas Cowboys. Sign up now to compete in Fortnite for a chance to win a VIP experience at the 2024 Dallas Cowboy Draft Party. Qualifiers begin on February 24th and run through the 28th. Learn more and register at DallasCowboysGameTime.com.
Thank you, Heckma Harrison. Your Players Lounge brought to you by Tostitos. Barry Church off today, but Heckma's here. Danny McCray's here. I'm Newey Scruggs. All of us picked the Kansas City Chiefs to win the Super Bowl.
Except for you.
Except Church, but, like I said, it's quarterbacks in Church. He's still trying to work through that. Good luck to him next year.
Most improved.
Cowboys need defensive coordinator because Dan Quinn left. He's head coach of Washington. Joe Witt Jr. went with Dan Quinn. He's his defensive coordinator. And Aiden Dirty, the defensive line coach, is gone. He's now the defensive coordinator for the Seattle Seahawks. So Mike Zimmer is what everybody, folks I respect said. Mike Zimmer's defensive coordinator. I'm still waiting to see an official email. Man, Scott Golnick hadn't said anything. Tad. And then Rex Ryan going to get on TV and talk about, hey, that ain't been decided on. I would apply for that job. I tell you right now.
That was the most confusing thing that I've seen, man.
I'm still
that's crazy.
Hold on, please.
Hold on.
Mike Zimmer, you're nice, but I'm still in the mix. And then ain't a lot of teams can get me to come out the booth.
Yeah, got to be the right fit, perfect fit.
Because dude,
I think they just need somebody to help them get over the hump, and all that.
Like your name is Rex, right? Not Buddy.
Yeah.
You're not your daddy. But dude's wild. All
right. Okay, devil's advocate here, because we're here now. All right, Dan Quinn's gone. Aiden Dirty, who they interviewed twice, however many times they interviewed him, he's now the Seattle DC.
Your guy Al is not.
He's not. He's not. It never was a possibility.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so faced with that reality, here's the deal. As you stated last week, Zimmer is not a bad hire. Not a bad hire for this defense, not a bad hire because of his track record, and he's also going to be a guy that's obviously, I believe, going to put full effort into making sure that we stop the run. That's number one. And you do that how you have a productive draft. You need to get guys free agency, period. You got to get Dak re-signed. We'll talk about that another time. But still, that's got to happen. When I looked at Rex, and even because he happened all while we were out, I thought about Rex, and I didn't think about the Jets Rex. I thought about the Baltimore Rex, because I think that Baltimore, when he was in Baltimore, his ability as a DC to me is what we need here, to have guys that play like that. Okay.
The talent was there.
Of course, I think
it won a Super Bowl with Marvin Lewis.
Whoa, I think the talent's here. Huh?
On defense?
Yeah. What are we talking? We got a guy that led the league in interceptions. We got. Oh, y'all, come on, though. Don't do that.
Nah, listen.
Don't do that.
Heck, we're going to go back, because I remember when you sit right here and me and you was going back and forth about if this defense was legendary, historically great. And at that time, I had decided that it wasn't, specifically because of our interior defensive linemen. So that's the pieces that I don't think you have here to take you over the top.
Prefaced with you have to have a good draft, and you have to have
no, that's what I'm saying. You said we have the pieces. Okay. That's all I was saying. I'm saying we don't currently have them. Okay. But if you, because we
Mike Parsons said.
No, I'm saying we went drafted Mozzie in the first.
See, y'all can kill me right now because we lost in the first round of playoffs. We look bad, but the numbers still state that we had a good enough defense this season.
We drafted. I'm saying when you speak about the draft and making sure you have a good one, we drafted a defensive lineman in the first round. You know what I'm saying? So like it's not like we didn't try to go out there and get guys.
You're killing me, Smalls.
No, I'm just saying. So like I don't think we currently have the pieces on our defense to make us look like those two teams look that were playing last night.
You're correct. When you talk about statistically, the stats are nice, but what did we see against San Francisco? Yeah. You know, you didn't see what you need to see. What did you see against Green Bay? I mean, with the teams that were the standard, the teams in the playoffs.
Our best defensive guy discredited 19 sacks in the season this weekend.
Yes, he did. But look, I can't defend that. I can't defend that.
And he told us, don't look at the stats, then go look at rush run weight and all this double team right now. So the man got 19 sacks. I don't care what you say.
That's a bad thing.
Because now you're talking about people who do watch film and do watch the games and do understand. And I've never heard that before from a player or anybody outside of the game of football, to watch somebody consistently be that good on defense on that team that is not a good football team, that consistently changes the game, specifically in big-time moments. Yeah. Pick sixes, batted passes, 19 sacks, not even playing the whole season.
No, he's a dude.
You go out there and say that, he...
I mean, even the eyeball test tells you that that's not. Even if you don't know anything, you're just like, I didn't see what you saw.
It don't make sense, and this comes from great player. He's a great player. He's a great player. But when you say something like that to people who watch the game, it's just not right. You got 19 sacks. I don't care. You get 10 in one game. You still got 19.
In this league, that's a sack a game. That's pretty dang incredible. By the way, guys are tired too, so.
Yeah, we have not been good.
That's my guy right there.
We have not been good in the media this week. All right, this has been a bad.
This is why they went ahead and Zimmer. We need somebody to come in here with the new voice. And what if you're gonna fight the coach? You're gonna fight the coach. But you're gonna need somebody in here to be like, hey, accountability is key. Accountability is key.
Barry talked about that last week, and I thought that was important, man. This accountability needs to happen, and you don't see it right now.
All the words that come out about Zimmer are they not sure how the message will be received, which to me is just unfortunate. Like you got a team,
which tells you something about what's going on here.
I know. Like, what are we talking about? Do you want to be great or not?
Be like Washington with Bieniemy. Ron Rivera goes, hey man, you got to learn how to talk to the guys.
He hurt my feet. You want to be great? You got the dude coming here to pick on you. He's just telling you, man, the standard is this, and this is what we want to see. And if you don't, we're going to show you how to hold your teammates accountable. Well, I don't know Zimmer well enough to know how the message is going to come across. I just know that the message needs to be a little different, just based off what you hear sometimes, from coming from the players.
Just hopefully they're not tired. That's a key thing.
Burnout.
I'm not messing with D-Law. Shout out to D-Law.
Hey, you know that was crazy.
Yeah, well,
you know it was.
I'm gonna say you misspoke.
It looked like that Barbara Walters, Mike Tyson interview. You remember that? With Robert Givens. Maybe something's up with Mike. I'm looking at D-Law. I'm like, man, maybe it's been a long night.
I know,
it's been a long night.
He wanted to say some stuff.
How old he mean? How old are we talking about? How tired are we talking about?
It shocked me. But it's a mulligan in golf, eh? I'm going to give him a mulligan.
We were tired. Yeah.
I'm just saying, I was looking at D-Law, I was like, this don't even look like D-Law. He was there to promote his protein drink.
That's why. See? He was saying we should have drank some.
That's right. And then he said, well, how many scoops you put in? I don't know. I just put 2. Damn, bro.
A little bit more next time.
Get my man prepared and ready to go. Don't send him in there like that, man. That's crazy.
Walked into the spider's web, boy.
Walk right into it.
Walk right into it. We
play Super Bowl every weekend. What?
Then my man Jordan Love came on here and said exactly what everybody's been saying about the Cowboys all for the last 2 years about we knew we could run the ball on these guys. Y'all got a DB in there playing linebacker. We knew we was going to be able to get it done. Man, also said we knew we were going to be able to get it done against y'all secondary. Yeah. Don't let that go unheard, okay? Like, that's what the offensive coordinators and the other teams that are playing us feel when they see our defense. That's what they feel. Hey, we can run it on them, and we can throw it on them. And they came in here and they ran it on us, and they threw it on us.
And Emmitt Smith ran the organization down, up and down all week long. Got deals, and what have they done? Haven't accomplished anything. He tore them up, and the accountability is a big thing. So, all right, maybe next time we convene, we'll have an official defensive coordinator. We'll see exactly what happens there. Mike Zimmer seems like he could be a good fit here. He's been here before. I like Zim. All right, Heckman Harrison, man, good to see you.
Yes, sir.
Danny McCray, good to see you. Barry Church, enjoy those slopes. I'm Newey Scruggs. We'll chat with you next time right here on DallasCowboys.com radio.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!